Hey everyone, Amir KJ4WMQ. This time making a video on how to program the Radioddity, as I've been told that's how you say it. I've been calling it Radioddity, but I guess I was wrong. It's Radioddity. GD-77. It is the dual band DMR capable radio that can transmit and receive both on UHF and VHF, which is nice for $95. You can't beat it. I compare it in all of my other videos to the Hytera 682. It transmits and receives just as well. Sometimes does a better job actually at both. I don't know why. Maybe stronger transmit power, even though they're both rated at 5 watts. But anyways, so I couldn't find any good videos on how to program this radio, and it drove me crazy. Especially I was brand new into DMR, so while waiting for this thing to come from Amazon, I was trying to figure out how to program it before you even got here. I didn't find any videos except one where some gentleman was recording it on his phone. Portrait mode, I was getting a headache trying to watch it, so I promised myself that I would do the good deed and record a regular one to share with other people on how to program this radio. So download the latest software and firmware from Radioddity's Facebook. Don't go to their website, they have the newest stuff on their Facebook. Go to Facebook, download the newest stuff. Let it install. Radioddity doesn't use USB drivers. You just plug it in and it'll work right away. Uh, this is 118. Just came out I think 2 days ago. It's the latest software they have. And let's go ahead and start. So I've already opened up my initial programming. This is the first thing that I made when I got the radio. So this isn't like fresh off the factory. There's nothing in there. I have a couple things in here, but it'll help me explain it to you guys. So anyways, let's start. Basic information. This is your radio's basic information. Some of these things are unlocked on mine. You can unlock your radio. Just Google Radioddity unlock expert mode and you should come with some stuff. I'll try to put it in the comments as to what combinations you have to press. I think it's like Shift, Control, Alt, F11, I believe, and there's a password you have to put in. Again, either I'll put it as a little screen note here, or I'll put it in the comment section so you guys can figure it out. But you hit those buttons, they'll ask for a password, you put the password, and a bunch of stuff unlocks, including these. So that's why mine is white and not grays, like yours if you just got it. Boot item, put whatever you want here. You could put your initials followed by your call sign. That's me. Next would be general settings. You go here to add your radio ID that you get from dmr-mark.com. Don't touch anything else. If you want to mess with it later, you can, but not for the sake of setting up this radio for the first time. You don't need this thing here. Get rid of it by closing the thing with the X. So you entered your ID number right here. Close this one. Now you're ready. Now all we have to do is add contacts, zone. Fortunately, a receive group list. You have to do this with the GD-77, otherwise you won't receive anything if you put it on none, like the other most of the radios. If I'm wrong, correct me. That's what I've been told. I didn't want to test it because it would just be a waste of my time, and it works for me. Anyways, and your channels. So we did that. Next thing is going to be adding contacts. Go to contact, digital contact, and these are your contacts right here. So click add. We'll call this, yeah, that's right. You cannot edit with GD-77's CPS, programming software. You can add, you can delete, but it will not let you edit it. Weird, I know. So let's do it the other way. Digital contact, right click, add. We're going to add a group call so we can talk to a talk group. Contact 7. We're going to call this TAC 312. I put PTT. I got rid of these now in my newest code plugs, but this just reminded me that this channel is PTT, which means you have to key up to turn a channel on. Otherwise, the channel is off. No one's talking. You're not going to hear anything. But I guess at the same time, if somebody was talking, it would be active anyways. But I got rid of it. So TAC 312. Call ID 123 312. Done. If you click this, it'll key up. You'll get a tone when someone keys up to talk. I don't do this because if someone keys up to talk, I'm gonna hear him talk. So X. Now we have TAC 312. You cannot move these up and down. So, but these don't have to be organized. These just have to be there. So leave it alone. If you want to contact an individual, private call, John Doe, or his call sign, and you would put his DMR ID in here. So if you were to go on DMR Mark, look in the database for someone's ID, you'll find it, type it in here, you can contact them directly. Only thing is, I'm not really sure how that works if you're not in a talk group. Well, how would they respond back to you? I don't really know, because if they don't have a channel or a private group to you, then how do they respond? I'm not sure. I've never tried this. I don't know anyone personally to mess this with. But let's say you want to add him and he adds you. You know, you put his ID number, whatever it is. Now it's in there. You pick John Doe. It will contact John Doe, and it will only go up on his radio. This is kind of frowned upon with repeaters, especially if it's not yours, because you're going to hold up a time slot, part of that channel, to talk to someone individually. If you want to talk to someone individually, you might as well just call them on your cell phone, I guess. So, anyways, let's delete this. I don't do that. So now we have our talk groups here, the contacts. This is the one we just added. Now we have to make a group list, because with the GD-77, until they fix what I believe is a bug, you have to have a group list. I'm on North America a lot, so we'll use North America as an example. But I have a group list just for North America. So when I have this selected, I don't hear anybody except people talking on North America. You can make another one. Let's call it TAC, group list 7. TAC. We can add all the TACs in here. So now, when you have any of these, if you have a channel, if you have any of these up and you pick TAC, you'll be able to hear all of them. Let's do that. Let's call this TAC all. So if you have this RX group list, you'll be able to hear all the conversations going on here. You'll just transmit on the talk group that you have that channel set to. Done. So add whatever you want. I have North America. I have statewide. I have TAC 310, 311, local, local site, and TAC all that we just made. Next, zone. Make up a zone. The way I do it with the Radioddity is you're limited in zones and channels with this radio. It's one of the downsides. You can't have a ton of zones. You'll run out fairly quick. So what I did was, unlike my Hytera, I condensed everything. So I put all the stuff that I really talk on. So zone, add, we'll call this Palm Beach County. So, and these are all different now, actually, now that I've done it. What I'm going to do is I'm going to open one. You won't see it happen, but I'm going to open one of my newest ones. Give me a second. It's happening in the background. That's why you're seeing an empty screen right now. Radio GD-77. This is the last modified one. They should have it a lot more updated. So, let's see. Zone. There you go. You could see Palm Beach County, analog, Florida, SARnet, simplex, Palm Beach County tax, local repeaters, and parrot, which is the thing that you talk and then it echoes back to you like a parrot. So this is how I organize my radio on the Radioddity, since I'm limited with zones and channels. So I have Palm Beach County on the most common channels that I use. So I have 9 of them here. It's the 3 in my county that I'm usually bouncing around. Wellington, North America. Again, like I always do, start with the largest, work my way down. So continent, country, state. Wellington, Gardens, West Palm Beach. So it goes from the most common one I use to the, I don't want to say least. I guess this could be better organized. I usually have it from the most northern to the most southern, but this is how you move it. So let's reorganize it. Palm Beach Gardens. Next would be the country, and then the state, followed by West Palm Beach would be the next south town. Again, North America, continent, country, state. Oops, this goes down. Here you go. Continent, country, state. Continent, country, state. Continent, country, state. From the most northern repeater in my county to the most southern one. And when I have some time, I'll end up adding the other repeaters in my area, which is in Delray Beach, Boca Raton, Lake Worth. So this will have the most common talk groups that I use in this county. You can have up to 15, I believe. So yeah, 16. So you can have up to 16 of them, which we're not going to do. So I'll have, let's see, I got 9. I'll be able to add about 6 more. So I can add 2 more repeaters here, which is about what I'll need for my county. And then what I'll do is I'll open up another one. We'll call it, with this one, unfortunately, unlike the High Terra, you can't insert a zone. You can't reorganize them, which really sucks. So if I were to add another zone, zone 8, we call it Broward. Unfortunately, I can't bring this up. I like having my zones organized so that I'll have all the counties, followed by the analog stuff and so on. Now I have one county here, one county here. So if you're setting up your stuff, think beforehand. Maybe put all your counties or whatever you want to do like this, because once you do it, you can't edit anything. Delete. So we've done our zones, let's say. We made a zone for our county and added all the common talk groups that we're going to talk from the contact list that we made earlier. Close. Close. And close. Channel. Here's all the stuff. All the talk groups linked up with the channel. So I have a ton of it, as you see here. Other radios will split up digital and analog. This just dumps it in this channel. I think it's 256 channels max. I don't know what I'm at right now. Let's see. Alright, I'm at 44. I got plenty of space still. I don't put a lot of stuff. So let's go through what a channel looks like. Alright, so this is one of the more common channels that I use in my area. So you pick whether you want a digital or an analog mode for this channel. This is going to be digital for DMR. I'm going to name it. The way I name it is I put the first 3 letters or abbreviations of the city, followed by an abbreviation of the talk group that I'm going to be on. So this is for the Wellington repeater, a North America talk group. You put your frequency here. This doesn't add the offset. You have to copy it over and then add the +5 yourself. So 442, 93, 75. Click this. It'll bring the exact number over, and you have to add 5 yourself. And there it is. Admit criteria. You want channel free. You don't want to be able to key up if the channel is busy. That makes no sense. Put it on channel free. So now you can key up once the channel is once the channel is open. Scan list. I have something called Palm Beach County Digital. I don't really use the scan, so leave it alone. If you want to look into it, you can look into it. There's a scan list here that you can add them all into, and then you can assign a button or something, or go through the menu and scan it. I'm not going to mess with that right now. So since this is digital, The analog box is grayed out. Next thing we have is the digital. And right now, what we're going to do is we're going to go through all these options right here. We have privacy. Don't mess with privacy. Go to RX group list. Remember, with the GD-77, you can't just put none, because then you're not going to receive anything. I don't know if they changed it yet, but it's a bug. You have to pick a group list. So since this is Wellington, North America, we're going to pick the North America group, receive group list that we made. Color code, find out what the color code for your repeater is. For this repeater, it is 1. So put whatever it is. Emergency system, this is system 1, you could just do none. This isn't really used. This is more for the commercial end of DMR, since we copied it from commercial to ham. Leave this alone. Contact name is the contact list that we've made over here. So whatever's in there is now here. Since this is the North American channel that we're doing, you're going to put contact name North America. Repeater time slot. The way DMR works is on one frequency, since it's digital, it splits it up into 2. Sounds weird, right? So what it does is it will disconnect you every, I don't want to say disconnect, but when you hold a key down, you will transmit every 30 milliseconds, and then you'll transmit for 30 milli, it'll stop for 30 milli, it'll transmit for 30 milli, it'll stop, transmit, so on, so on. That's actually why digital batteries last longer, because you're not transmitting the entire time, you're transmitting every 30 milliseconds, so 1/3. Repeater time slot 1 will let you transmit on the first section of the 30 milliseconds. Repeater time slot 2 will let you transmit on the second portion of that 30 milliseconds. The way we have this set up for ham radio is time slot 1 is always the regional, continental, whatever. Time slot 2 is only local, so it's your local repeater usually. It has its own time slot because ham radio, especially repeater stuff, VHF, UHF is on a more of a local network, so they have their own time slot for the repeater. And then if you want to get out and speak with anybody in the world, you go to time slot 1, and that's where everything else will be worldwide, North America, USA, Southeast USA, or whatever you have in your area. So since this is North America, you're going to be on repeater time slot 1. Leave all this junk alone. I don't know what these are. Yeah, don't touch that, because if it's something, I haven't needed it yet. So you now have, close this back up, we'll go to back to the channel. You have now created your channel. So let's say you are going to make this same channel with the repeater and all that information 5 times. So what we're going to do is now we're going to add a channel, right click add, right click add. What you're going to do is you're going to right click the channel you just worked on. You're going to click copy. You can see right here is what we just added. You double click it, all blank. Nothing is anything close to what you just made. You're going to right click on the channel. You're going to click paste. It will move everything over. Well, everything except the name. Frequency, admit criteria, scan list, power level, talk group, receive group, all that good stuff. You just have to give it a name. Wellington test. That's what we're doing, is we're just making something bogus right now. Or we could call it 312. Here we go. 312. We won't have 312 because we haven't added that on this new file that I opened up. Let's call it 312 anyways. We'll assume. This is Wellington 312 we just created. You could do the same thing with this one. Channel 46. Right click, paste. Right click, rename. Well, 313. So now we're digital 312. This is all here. RX group list. We'll do tag channels. That is a group list I've made that has all the tag channel contacts in there. Color code 1 because it's regional, it's not local. Contact name. Now I don't have tag 312, but let's say this tag 311. Let's just imagine this as tag 312. Select it. Repeater time slot. Oh, actually I made a mistake. I'm sorry. Color code. That was color code. That should be the same. That shouldn't change for your repeater. It's repeater specific, not group. Repeater time slot. This is not local, it's regional. Time slot 1. Done. We go to Wellington 313. Just click next. Digital Wellington 313. Everything transferred over. The only thing you got to change is talk group channel to on the RX group list. Then contact name. Oh, actually, I do have the tag channels. I made them, I guess. I forgot. So this was what we called the tag 313. There it is. Let's go and fix this one. You don't have to imagine, guys. We can now actually pick it. Tag 312. That's it. So we have just now added the Wellington repeater, the Wellington repeaters tag 312 and 313. So now let's add this. There it is. Digital high 312 313. Zone. Palm Beach County TAC. There it is. We're going to add Wellington 312, Wellington 313. We'll move it up. Make it in order. So now on this specific zone, we now have the channels we just added. Wellington 310, Wellington 311, Wellington 312, Wellington 313. Remember, we can add up to 16 of them. So you can just keep adding them as you add the channels. And that's about it. If you want to make a scan list, it's like the zone. Whatever you want, throw it in there. I named this Palm Beach County Digital, and I threw everything in there. I don't know if it works because I don't scan, so, but I believe that's how it would be. You would just add any talk group you want in here, and then that would be it. So you check talkback. I believe what that does is it's scanning. Oh, someone's talking on Palm Beach Gardens, Florida, or whatever. It'll stop there. And then your transmit channel will be the selected one that it stops on. And I guess if you check talkback, you'll be able to talk back on the frequency that it stopped on. I don't know. I don't mess with this stuff, but if you want to do a scan, you can do that. So that's it, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. Hopefully it made a little bit of sense. Like the video if you liked it. Don't hit dislike if you didn't like it. Subscribe. I'm going to try to have some more ham radio stuff up on YouTube and a few other things I may or may not put up. But I hope you guys enjoyed it again, and that's it. Have a good one.